What is going on, world? What's up, YouTube? It's Zero here. Today I'm bringing you guys a brand new episode of the 8 Below Show. Welcome everyone to 8 Below. Thanks for being here, guys, to the best gaming related show here on YouTube. And I'm super excited about our episode here today. We have a lot of stuff to talk about, so let's get into it. Death Stranding is a really special title, guys. I mean, I thought it had some incredible concepts. I didn't think that it landed perfectly in every one of those, concepts and such. But Hideo Kojima, without a doubt, has knocked another title out of the park, guys, in my mind. Absolutely incredible, from the visuals to from the voice acting to the story, the narrative, gameplay even. I mean, it was just overall a really exciting experience. Now, there was certainly things that, a lot of folks had, issues with certain elements of the game and how much walking or how much running or how much travel time there was within the title. But overall, guys, I really thought that it just captivated me from a story perspective. And so I want to talk in this segment of the show about Death Stranding 2. Is this a title that we could be seeing at some form or at some point in the future? We've talked about Death Stranding 2 on the YouTube channel. You guys can check out all of that content here, guys. But I want to talk further as more information is starting to come out, and it's sparking a lot of interest and a lot of rumors and speculation around this title. So let's get into it. So guys, in an article coming to us from Joshua Duckworth of Game Rant, new Death Stranding 2 rumors begin to circulate online after Gaming Auteur Hideo Kojima posts an image of his latest project. So Death Stranding Director's Cut recently released, adding quite a few new features to really refine the game's experience. Needless to say, while some may still avoid the game or have a general dislike of it, the additions likely brought players back in or saw some new ones get added as well. This begs a big question, though, of whether or not Death Stranding will ever continue the Strand genre with a sequel. Kojima recently posted an image from his current project on his personal Twitter, stating he is revisiting the plan and script while experimenting with other elements. The main draw for Death Stranding rumor mongers, though, is the three blurred men in the image. Many think the central figure up front in the white shirt is Norman Reedus. Not only does this make sense if it is Death Stranding in Reedus's past comments, but the hairstyle and general body shape do fit Reedus quite well. Now, here's what I will tell you about this image, guys, that came out from Hideo Kojima himself. The image, obviously is blurred. Hideo is very good at teasing different things to us as a community. He does a very good job of this. To me, though, with this image, Death Stranding 2 is definitely something that would be awesome. And actually, the figure that's in the white shirt, it does look like, Norman Reedus to an extent as far as his, from a structural perspective or, just looking from a blurred image, it very well could be him. Now, that being said, though, he says that he's revisiting the plan and script and experimenting with everything else. What that tells me, guys, is what if this means that it's a Silent Hills, kind of revisit by Hideo Kojima? Obviously, Norman Reedus as well as Hideo Kojima were both tagged to work on none other than Silent Hills, which, of course, they brought out PT, which was created as that teaser to what was going to be Silent Hills, and unbelievable to say the least. Part of me is hoping that, he's talking about this, even though, we're talking about revising the plan and the script and such, and it seems like revisiting certain things and certain elements of that, it could very well be Silent Hills. Now, sure, guys, it definitely could be Death Stranding 2 that, at some point or another, but I think that Hideo Kojima, I think, is at a point in his career where maybe he wants to continue, building more obviously great stories around, current titles that he's already made. That could be Metal Gear. It could be, Silent Hills, which obviously he didn't complete. Could be Death Stranding. Or he could be wanting to keep his mind fresh with new ideas. We see this a lot with other famous directors out there. Christopher Nolan comes to mind. Obviously Scorsese, Spielberg. They don't stay in one genre or series of, movies for a long period of time. They like to really keep the creative juices flowing. And Hideo Kojima obviously worked on Metal Gear for quite some time. Maybe he's at a point where he wants to create new narratives. So this could be something totally new, or maybe it is Silent Hills. Some have gone a little further, thinking that the figure with his back to the camera is Mads Mikkelsen, who played Cliff in Death Stranding. I don't really see that, but maybe it is. The potential connections there are slimmer than Reedus, but not impossible given the potential trio and perhaps the visible haircut. Notably, however, there are a couple of things everyone should keep in mind about this image. The first is that even if this is actually Reedus and Mikkelsen, this doesn't confirm Death Stranding 2. It could be, in theory, an entirely different project, and that still hinges on the rumor or slim possibility that it is one or both figures. Secondly, it could theoretically not even be a game. Kojima Productions recently opened a TV, music, and movie division, and this image could be related to this new division. Now, that would be moving a project onto this division insanely quick, but it's no secret that Kojima is a major cinephile who potentially has a myriad of ideas. Either way, the image is interesting for speculation purposes. So, yes, guys, obviously they opening up, the TV and the movie, side of Kojima Productions, it could very well be something in that nature as well, in that realm as well. It's really tough to say, and only time will tell, guys, as we go here, what Kojima's next project is. A lot of us are wondering what it is. Is it going to be a Death Stranding 2? I would love to see a Death Stranding 2. I'd love to see a Silent Hills. I would love to see a brand new IP from Hideo Kojima. I think that he really comes up with some really incredible ideas, and I would absolutely love to see that. But nonetheless, guys, what do you think? What do you take from this? Will we see a Death Stranding 2, or do you think this is Silent Hills or something completely different? Let me know in the comment section down below. And for more Death Stranding 2 content and videos, stay here with Zero TV. Evolve, I've talked on the YouTube channel, guys, was a game that felt beyond its time and something that was way ahead of, the curve when it came to this style of a video game. It really was like Dead by Daylight before Dead by Daylight came out. And I think Evolve had a lot to do with creating a lot of these games that we have today. And that being said, I think that these titles that are very successful to this day, I think have Evolve to thank for it, because I feel that Evolve was kind of, even though it was that, founding father, it felt like in this genre of titles, it really obviously took the significant backlash and such of those titles as well, and was really it could have gone a number of different ways. I thought there was a lot of promise for Evolve, but obviously, guys, there are a number of reasons why Evolve 2 never got made. But that being said, I want to talk about, now that we're in 2022, could Evolve 2 potentially get announced at this point, at some point during this year? And so I want to talk about that, guys. Let's break it down, and I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comment section down below. So let's get into it. Guys, I've made a lot of Evolve 2 content here on the YouTube channel. You guys can check out all of that content here. But that being said, there are, all in all, two things, and we talk about this all the time on the YouTube channel, two things that can dictate whether a franchise that you love will get, a continuation, or if it's going to stay in a limbo state or a state of no return. And those two things are, number one, guys, the sales for a title, and number two is the critical reception. And so the reception is huge, guys, but at the end of the day, the sales really, money talks, right? And this is a business, and so as long as the developers are making a good amount of money, it justifies it a lot more than, say, the reception does. But those two things really dictate it in a major, major way. So let's talk about, first of all, what happened here with Evolve. So Evolve, guys, obviously, I thought had so many incredible opportunities, and it was something just really special in my opinion, like just a major miss in a number of ways. But does that mean we can't get an Evolve 2? Absolutely not. I think that when we look at what happened here, we can certainly kind of break some of this down. So if we look according to Metacritic, got a 77 out of 100, 76 out of 100, 74 out of 100 on PC, PS4, and Xbox One. That's pretty good if you ask me. Game Informer gave it an 8.5 out of 10. That's pretty great. GameSpot gave it an 8 out of 10. IGN gave it a 9 out of 10. That's pretty great, guys, from some very reputable, reviewers that are out there and sources that review games. And I mean, really, when I look at that, okay, you see obviously the reception there. And obviously, it was pretty good, if not pretty great at the end of the day. Now, that being said, that's not the entire, that's not the whole story. That's going to tell us part of the story. So if we look at the reception, we could say, okay, definitely this has an opportunity to get a continuation at some point or another. We go to the sales though, guys. Evolve debuted at number 1 in the UK software sales chart, the first title 2K Games have published to take the number 1 spot since March of 2013. Evolve was the second best-selling game in the United States in February, according to the MPD Group, only behind the handheld game The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask 3D. However, the average player count on Steam declined significantly since the game's launch. The game's player count increased 15,930% and was listed as one of Steam's most played games after its transition to a free-to-play model. More than 1 million new players played the game after the transition. Financial analyst Doug Kreutz of the Cohen Group estimated only 300,000 physical copies were sold in Evolve's launch month, and by its current sales rate, a well below average figure to the AAA gaming industry. Kreutz stated that Evolve may be too niche to reach a wide audience, adding that the negative reception to its DLC plan has hindered its success considerably. Despite such estimations, Carl Slatoff, president of Take-Two Interactive, stated that Evolve has achieved an incredibly successful launch and that the company was very satisfied with the sales of the game. As of May 2015, 2.5 million copies of the game had been shipped. Take-Two CEO Strauss Zelnick considered the property one of their permanent franchises, joining Grand Theft Auto, BioShock, and Red Dead. So first of all, let's talk about Kreutz. Doug Kreutz, guys, says that Evolve may be too niche to reach a wide audience. Well, that has obviously been completely and utterly shown that, to be not true whatsoever and not happen. I mean, obviously, this is not too niche of obviously a model, guys. We've seen it in a bunch of other games up to this point in time. You see it in games like even Friday the 13th, to Dead by Daylight, to what's up and coming here, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. A lot of these titles, guys, are taking things that Evolve did. They're just doing it a little bit better because now it's being well refined. A lot of these other studios are seeing, okay, this is what Evolve did wrong. Let's take that same model and create something in our own way. And we just, create a little bit different. The DLC plan was definitely, guys, the microtransactions, the things of that nature is what really hurt this title. I also remember there being so many different versions of the game that you could buy. And I think that really hurt it as well. I also remember, this was a game, that came out, guys. And look, I think that even though it had some of these issues, it still was able to ship 2.5 million copies, guys, as of May 2015. Now, sure, we know that the actual, launch month, they say was pretty good, but then there was only estimated 300,000 physical copies were shipped. So look, at the end of the day, 2.5 million copies is pretty good. That being said, though, the support of Evolve has really been non-existent after, some of the backlash happened based on the DLC plans, microtransactions, all the different versions of the game. And so that really hurt it. Now, Strauss Zelnick, guys, saying that's going to be one of the permanent franchises. Well, obviously, we have not seen a continuation since 2015. So we're in 2022 now. Obviously, you're thinking, well, this is a title. If this is a permanent franchise, it's going to, come back at some point or another. Now, we look at Grand Theft Auto. Obviously, guys, they Take-Two is one of those, obviously one of those publishers that a lot of their companies under them are, that being like Rockstar, so on and so forth, they take their time with most of their games. Even you'll look at a company like Hangar 13, they take their time when they make a game like Mafia. And so BioShock, obviously, they take time with those titles. Red Dead, GTA, they take their time with these titles. So could Evolve be kind of like that? I think that it's definitely a possibility. It's not good that we haven't really heard anything about an Evolve 2. I'm really hoping that we get a continuation. At the end of the day, guys, it does come down to us as a fan base to voice this game back into existence to get it to come back. And I think that 2022 could very well be a year that we get some surprises. And I think an Evolve 2 could certainly be a surprise. I just think that Take-Two, obviously, this could be their Dead by Daylight. It could be their Texas Chainsaw Massacre, their, all these other titles that are coming out now. I think that Take-Two could really do well with making an Evolve 2, kind of rebooting this franchise in a major way. I think that there's a ton of possibility to it. The free-to-play model obviously helped it out. Didn't help it enough. It was a little bit too little too late, guys. I think that free-to-play model should have happened a lot sooner, or it should have happened at launch. I think it would have absolutely made the whole story and narrative around Evolve would have totally changed, because the microtransactions and all of that would have been one thing, but it would have been justified because it's a free-to-play game. Evolve was so ahead of its time, in my opinion, guys. And I would love to see a continuation of some sorts or another. I think that would be, I think this is a title that needs to exist in gaming. I just do. I think that it started something really special, and I think it needs to kind of take us into that next generation with all the, obviously the new gen consoles and all of that. I think it could really do well from a graphical perspective to a gameplay perspective. I think it could be something really special. But what do you guys think? Do you think that they'll ever make an Evolve 2? Do you think we're going to get an announcement here in 2022? Let me know, guys, in the comment section down below. And for more Evolve 2 content and videos, stay here with Zero TV. A title that is starting to get more and more buzz, and more people are starting to talk about it, and people are asking me to start creating content around this game, is World War III. Guys, this is a title that's coming to us from the Farm 51 and the publisher My Games, and this is a title, guys, that I hadn't really heard a lot about. I remember seeing a trailer for it a number of years ago. It released, guys, back in October of 2018, and I didn't even know that. And this is a game that's starting to build some momentum. There's a lot of people talking about it, and I wanted to give you guys my thoughts on this. And there's a lot of people talking about this being the COD killer or the Battlefield killer. And so I want to give you guys my thoughts on it. And from what I've seen of the game, what I've played of the game so far, what I think as far as this being a COD killer or something that could really disrupt the FPS space in a major way. So let's talk about it. So guys, World War III currently is available on Steam. It is a tactical online multiplayer first-person shooter title, guys, where the world is your battleground, according to them. Outgun the enemy in thrilling team-based skirmishes with a huge arsenal of weapons, vehicles, gadgets, and drones at your disposal. Okay, so currently, guys, the game is $14.99 to buy the basic copy of World War III. This is an online PvP game, guys. There is partial controller support at this point in time as well. So let's talk about this. Well, number one, guys, if we're comparing this title to, let's just say, Call of Duty and Battlefield, I feel like it's really hard to make this being, really hard to say that this is going to be the COD killer. And the reason being, guys, is one major thing right off the bat is that this is not supported on consoles yet. We know that Call of Duty esports, we know that a lot of COD players, most of them are probably playing on consoles at this point in time. Sure, there's more and more people playing on PC now, but if we're talking about from a competitive perspective, people have played COD over the years on consoles, specifically PlayStation at this point, because they've had the partnership with Activision. So that's my first initial thought here. When we say this is going to be the COD killer, the first thing I look at is, okay, how long's the game been out? But secondly, is this even on consoles? And it's not on consoles. And according to the Farm 51 and My Games, there's no real information yet as to if it's even going to come out on consoles at any point in the future. And so that's something that is starting to immediately start to throw me off a little bit. From what I've played of the game, guys, I haven't put a ton of time into it as of yet. But what I will tell you is that it's a pretty interesting, intriguing, and exciting title. I really do enjoy it at this point in time. I am excited to see where it goes in the future. I think it could be something really special. I just don't know if we're at the point yet where we can start saying this is going to be the COD killer, because I'm not seeing a lot of people from the COD community moving over to World War III at this point in time. The numbers aren't justifying it on Twitch, and a lot of people are playing Warzone in the COD community right now, waiting for a title that they have league play and things of that nature. World War III, I think if they started adding modes like, significant competitive modes like ranked play, and they started adding some like really cool features to it that really start to justify more of a competitive base, I think similar to games like Halo, it could be something pretty special, where Halo Infinite obviously has started to draw a lot of the Call of Duty people away. Halo Infinite feels more of a potential COD killer than World War III in my mind, at least. And Halo Infinite is only on Xbox. So that's something that you have to think about as well. I do think that World War III definitely will play a part. I think the other thing, though, a lot of people, many people know about this game, but there are going to be people out there that don't want to pay $14.99 when they can play Warzone for free. They can play Halo Infinite for free. World War III, I think, would do really well if they made it a free-to-play, or they made it free-to-play for a certain period of time. Obviously, guys, I think that there's a lot of possibility here with World War III. Don't get me wrong. I think it could be something pretty special. At the end of the day, though, if it was going to be a killer of one of these FPS titles, I think it is more so in the line of Battlefield. Battlefield, guys, obviously has been under some fire. I really enjoyed Battlefield 2042, and I enjoy it for what it is. But I understand why the Battlefield community is really, there's a lot of backlash there. The bugs, the glitches, the issues that are going on, and a lot of people feel like the title should have waited to come out. And I agree. I think that a game needs to be fully polished before it releases to the world. But I think that this is would be more of a concern to me in the Battlefield community than the Call of Duty community. But even Battlefield, it's hard to say that this game is going to be the killer of Battlefield, because it's only at this point on PC. If it were on consoles as well, guys, I think we could really start having some conversations. Another title out there, guys, that I would be keeping an eye on when we talk about the COD killer or the Battlefield killer, outside of Halo Infinite, which I think is like the number one, when we look at all of these games, Halo Infinite really goes to the top, at least in my mind. But the other title that's going to be coming out here is Crossfire X. And that's a title, guys, Crossfire is very popular, over in Asia. And this is a title that could be something very special, over here, and something that you might want to keep your eyes on when we're talking about a killer of one of these games. I don't think they're going to totally kill Call of Duty. They're not going to totally kill Battlefield, because those communities are very loyal to those, to those games. But it does beg the question, guys, do you think that a title like World War III or, Halo Infinite, Crossfire X, what do you guys think is going to be the biggest challenge for, games like Call of Duty and Battlefield that have been at the top of FPSs for so long? Let me know in the comment section down below. And for more World War III content and videos, stay here with Zero TV. And with that being said, everyone, I hope you guys did enjoy this episode of the 8 Below Show. Guys, we are continuing to grow every single day, and it's all because of all of you. I appreciate all the support, all the new subscribers, all the new followers on my social media platforms. I would love to have more conversations with you, whether we're talking about Call of Duty or we're talking about World War III, Battlefield, Gears of War, whatever title it is that we're talking about, guys, I would love to have real conversations with you, whether it's in the comment section down below or on the 3 social media networks I'm on: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, as well as Twitch at @0_TV. Guys, thank you so much for all the support you've been giving me. If you guys enjoyed this episode of the 8 Below Show, be sure to leave a thumbs up, guys. It helps me out in a massive way. Thank you so much for all the support at this point in time. Subscribe if you're new. Stay positive. Just keep grinding. And as always, I'll talk to you guys all in the next one. Peace.